I'll be ready.
Be ready when you are.
All right. This meeting will come to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call the roll.
Benjamin.
Here.
Veronic.
Here.
Baylor.
Here.
Kasdorf.
Here.
Holdman.
Here.
Huber.
Here.
Sardina.
Here. Is there anyone desiring to be heard?
Oh, hi.
Come on forward.
I'm Claudia Burnett. Hello, I'm Susanna Schroeder. My address is on file with the village, and I'm your library director. So I wanted to remind you that starting yesterday, the summer reading program kicked off at the library. So far, we have 189 people signed up, and considering the population of Butler, I think that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I know for a fact that there are 2 people in this room so far who have signed up. And now I did step away a couple of times today, so maybe you guys snuck in when I was helping somebody in the conference room. And that's possible, because I do that a lot. I help people, but I didn't see all y'all come in to sign up. And I also want to remind you, Brookfield Fire, there are 3 people in this room who are signed up. Sorry about that, Lori. That if you work in Butler, you're eligible for a library card as well. So I just want to encourage everybody to sign up. It's a good time. You should come out. There are lots of dinosaurs this year. That's the super awesome t-shirt I'm wearing. So come to the library. We appreciate your support. Thanks.
Okay, quick question for you. On your stat of 120 some people,
189.
89, do we know how many of those are residents of Butler? All of
That
them?
is part of a library record, and I can't tell you that exact number right now, but I would say if I had to guess, about 90%.
90%? Could you check on that and then get back to us on it?
Of course, but we have more signups every single day, and I'd encourage you to come and sign up too. So I'll check back on you.
Perfect. If there's picture books, I'm in.
There are so many picture books. You know, I'll pick out a few for you.
Perfect.
Is there anyone else desiring to be heard? None. Consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda. I'll second it.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion on the motion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
On opposition, say nay. Motion passes. Communications, anything other than department reports?
No, sir.
Thank you. Community reports, building board.
Building board met at 5:30 this evening and approved an occupancy permit for Mission Truck and Equipment doing business as Casper's Truck Equipment, located at 5560 North Park Drive. Also an occupancy for MAK Meals LLC, 12610 West Hampton. We also approved 2 sign permits, one for Metro Elevator, 12855 Silver Spring Unit A, and Nathan's Auto Care, 4757 North 125th Street. End of report.
Thank you. Community events.
Community events met on the 21st of May. We decided to pledge $2,000 towards the village fireworks. We also worked through some discussions on our 250th 4th of July parade. We are pledging also to pick up whatever else is needed for the Butler Night Out for the police department. And we are exploring the purchase of a speaker system for the village community center.
Thank
End
you.
of report.
Thank you. Finance committee.
Finance committee met a few minutes ago and we approved May invoices of $257,881.60. We also reviewed and approved the May statements of revenue and expenditures. And we discussed the possible action on resolution 2614. All the items will be passed on to the full board for their approval and the report.
Thank you. And library report.
The library report. Library met on June 9th at 6 p.m. Ben joined us. Most of the meeting we were discussing the memorandum of understanding. Many things were talked about, including good faith, library speed defined, staff and library responsibilities, village responsibilities, capital improvement projects, and communications. We also discussed a little bit, we heard about summer reading program. A note, bingo is June 20th. As always, we're still looking for a board member. And the library received the highest effort ratio of all libraries in the Bridges library system of 249.76%. Our next meeting will be July 14th. End of report.
Thank you. Community Foundation, we met this week. We had a new committee member. We still have one spot open. We have ongoing discussion of possibly repainting the caboose. And we're also getting a couple new flags for the front. End of that report. Report of the administrator.
The absentee ballots for the August 11th partisan primary will be going out next week, Wednesday. That is the deadline. I will be picking up the election supplies on Friday. The ballots are expected to be in our hands by next Tuesday. So if you have not yet made your absentee ballot request, feel free to do so at myvotewi.gov. We are also in the middle of the road project. They are taking a break this week. They have a job down in Kenosha that they are working on, and a new crew will be on site on next Monday to come to further do the work and hopefully complete that water main project within the next couple weeks, so we can move on to the road construction part of the project. Besides that, budget has started. We had discussions last week internally. We are looking at getting quotes for various capital items, and I've started to work on wages, benefits, and restructuring kind of the budget to suit us for next year. End of report.
Thank you. Unfinished business to item A, discussion and possible action on a memorandum of understanding between the Village of Butler, the Butler Public Library, and the Library Board of the Butler Public Library.
Yes. So I will invite Charlene up at this time. Since the last meeting, the motion was to strike two items from the memorandum of understanding, to reach out to the printing company to get more information about the copier, and I believe to the last thing's escaping me now. Oh, there was another thing that we had to do. I believe. I'm sorry, it's escaping my mind right now, but we have accomplished all of those items. Charlene can provide a little bit of information on the copier and what she found out after calling Milwaukee Office Products. We did strike the two things that President Kasdorf made the motion on. And we did list out the capital projects that Trustee Baranek, I should say, requested us to do. So those are all detailed now in the MOU and the addendum. So Charlene, I'll hand it over to you to discuss kind of what the library board talked about and any information you have on that copier.
Well, essentially, the library board went through this line by line to make sure that they understood what was in the memorandum. Had really no questions about staff responsibilities. You notice it's in a bit different format, or not different format, but a different order than we had last time, putting staff and library responsibilities up front. Ben and I talked about buildings and grounds and kind of clarifying immediate versus emergency versus just things that needing attention, kind of trying to clarify that. We listed out all of our technology and related services there on page 2. Talked about village responsibilities on page 3. Decided instead of listing out everything under grounds and parking area, we just simply say maintaining as usual for a library, for a village property, rather than giving you tons of detail and shortening up the document a little bit. Capital improvement projects essentially kind of says what it did before, the definition of capital improvement project, and talking about the infrastructure of the building and comprehensive maintenance, the working together with the administrator and DPW and staff, the library staff, for about possible capital improvement projects, a bit about the communications. But I want to call your attention to page 6, and this is in response to Trustee Baranek listing out our 2026 costs. I did not include that in the memorandum since we want this to live for more than just 1 year and not have to update it every year. So it's in here as an addendum. What our fire and security system, technology services, very important these days to have cybersecurity hardware, our firewalls, and then library-related technology, what our current costs are. And then we also, after much discussion, listed also the printer as a part of library technology. Hearing your concerns, President Kasdorf, last time. This is an important part of the way we provide services to the community. So we listed it in here as part of our library technology. I did make some phone calls after our last meeting and discovered that a replacement for the copier would be around $2,500. Milwaukee Office Products gave us a quote on that. We can save about $400 by keeping the pieces of the copier that still work, like the library or the stand for it, and the extra drawer. So about $2,500 to replace that copier. In the meantime, you notice it said faxing can be added. We have already at no cost added the faxing. Apparently that was capability that was always there and nobody knew it. So we can now add the faxing to that, but it's not going to increase the cost. If you have any questions about the item listed as peripherals, those are essentially our receipt printers, our Wi-Fi access points, our Wi-Fi router, monitors that we use in the library for communications, that sort of thing. And those all together, and those are all replaced on a as needed basis and adds up to around $1,800. The only item we really had, aside from the copier, that meets the capital improvement project definition is our main computer, which is on a 5-year life cycle and was replaced last year. So that said, what questions do you have?
I have a few, but I think they're easy. It's just some clarification, and it's on the under the building and grounds.
Building grounds for
It would be staff and library responsibilities. I just put in there, it says replacing light bulbs. I think we should add the word interior to that.
Oh,
So you don't so there's no expectation that you're changing like parking lot lights and stuff.
good catch.
And then the other wording on that is fine. So ceiling lights would still be DPW. That I'm fine with that. 2 down from there is keeping the sidewalk ice free, including shoveling minor accumulations. I almost would propose that be deleted. I think that's a DPW task. I don't want to necessarily have it in writing that they're responsible for that. We can give you a shovel and a bucket of salt, but I think the village should be responsible for the sidewalk
Okay.
and the parking lot.
So internally, we could tell the staff, if you see ice, do something about it, but we're not going to make it as an official part of this.
That's the way I see it. Just in case someone were to fall, and here we have it in writing, it could get into who was supposed to
Oh, yeah.
do it, versus just like a natural accumulation.
Mhm.
So I would, if there's no objection from the board, I'd ask that be deleted.
I think
My
that's a
only
good idea.
concern is you're saying we're pushing responsibility off to someone else and also liability.
Not the liability. I mean, we're all one for liability,
Yeah.
but the DPW, if we own the building, we own outside, so I think that really should be a DPW task.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I'm fine with that, but we're taking one piece of sidewalk that we're not gonna take care of. If they're already there doing it,
No, well, DPW would take care of all external, all outside sidewalk and parking lot. They do that for the rest of the village.
so why do they need a shovel then?
Oh, okay, so they want a shovel.
I'm just trying to,
They-
this whole thing is just a little odd to me to begin with, so when you're done, I have some questions.
Okay. And then the one under that is if there was like a serious spill or a hazmat, within the building, you're gonna call your cleaning service. I think just a little thing on there about advising the village about the spill.
Good.
And obviously, if it's a bigger like hazmat spill, I mean, the fire department would be called or
Yeah.
something like.
This came about when we had staff trying to clean up vomit, and we just said, staff should not be doing that. If you've got stuff like that, you need to call the cleaning services because we're not equipped to do that.
All right, and now here's this is gonna be, might get a chuckle. Back in the past, there used to be a lot of plugging of toilets. And I don't think we ever really resolved whose job that was to, it happens quite a bit, or it used to happen. I don't know if it still does, but I don't know if they would, is that an issue? Did we have to,
If there's body fluids where there should not be body fluids, we want the cleaning crew to do it. If it's a plug toilet and we have a plunger and rubber gloves, that's a different situation.
I know it was an issue in the past. I don't know if we have to list that
I
out,
don't think we've had any problems with it recently.
but I know they put new toilets in,
Yeah.
so maybe that solved that.
We may have had an issue, yesterday. I took care of it. I'm an adult. I was a teacher. I'm a mother.
I would say if it's contained, common sense, if it's, like I say, body fluids elsewhere, then we need the cleaning crew to come with their rubber suits.
That's fine. Okay, going on, under village responsibilities, under the budget, Ben, it says here the village bank account, but should that be further defined for the library or under the library budget or their account number?
So the costs, recorded invoices, paid and deposits made to the village bank account. So for most, if not all of the cash that we receive in goes into a commingled cash account. So it's again, the village's account, but the money that gets sorted into the 800 fund, the 101 fund, the 200 fund, it all gets commingled into one. So again, the bank account is under the Village of Butler's name. There's not a separate bank account specifically for the library that deposits are going into and expenses are coming out of.
Do we want to further define that? We don't have to? Just so we know the cash they have coming to us doesn't go to the village general fund, was my only way of looking at it.
I think that we're okay with how we have the fund system set up right now.
Okay.
Where it's getting recorded to the 800-1004 account, which is a town bank town bank checking account.
Okay. And then my last thing, under communications, it just says staff will communicate via email. And then at the end of that first bullet point, it says the administration will respond in writing. Could we eliminate email and writing and just somehow there'll be communication? I don't want to limit it to just has to be an email. Or we can most certainly pick up a phone and talk.
Yeah, I think the intent
Which bullet
there
is
is
that?
if there's requests for
One.
services or issues, it's always good to have documentation because, people are busy. So, I mean, it can be what it needs to be. Like I say, the intent for the email and writing is, right, two different terms, but I would like to have some kind of a record so that, in 2 years when we're thinking about what happened with so-and-so, we
Or 2
have
months.
some documentation to go back to. So that was the intent. What do you think?
Okay, I hear, yeah, like, I don't want the communication just to be email. That was my only,
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
absolutely.
if there's a budget question, I would hope there'd be a conversation
Right.
and then a follow-up email would work.
It does say verbal communications encouraged, but
Do I need to expand that?
A verbal,
I think they're just contradictory. You're saying, you can say like, they'll communicate via email, but then it's saying verbal communication is encouraged. They kind of contradict.
Yeah, it's kind of like you're requiring the email, but then it's saying that you can do verbal. Again, it's kind of semantics, but
Right.
we can just,
I just wouldn't want you limited to one form of communication.
Okay,
To me, it
maybe
doesn't
that's-
matter.
Maybe that's the key, communication is not limited to written communication.
Whatever.
Yeah, we'll have to work that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but-
Okay.
Okay.
But there should be some kind of a documented trail, right?
Yeah. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Taylor, you said you had some questions.
Yeah, well, might not necessarily be questions, but to just go off of this last little conversation we have about communications, right? We're supposed to be a together, all one, right? And we're now trying to put into documentation of how we can talk to one another. I don't understand how that works, right? We don't have that with the police department, right? We don't have that with the DPW listing how we can talk to one another, what they're supposed to do, what we're supposed to do. We've had talks and you said to us that this is all one. It's a village thing, but there's never been a lot of communication with Ben about certain things, right? Because otherwise some capital budget would have been already set aside, right? I mean, so has there been a lack of communication, do you feel? Not at all?
Absolutely not. Absolutely
Then
not.
how do we have a copier that out of the blue goes and we don't know how we're paying for it?
Give you a little history lesson.
I'm all for history.
2017, when that copier was bought, all library expenses came out of the village budget because we were part of the general fund. 2018, Kayla Thorpe decided that we needed to be in an 800 fund, our own fund, partially to encourage the library to stay within the available resources that they had. So making this department of the village responsible for that. So at that point, all technology that we had, that we normally bought, came out of that 800 budget. The copier, because both Paul and I thought it was under lease, the copier just simply got missed. Had we recognized that it was a purchase instead of a lease, it would have been in our technology maintenance plan that we developed back in 2022 and would have been planned for. So the copier is kind of an outlier in that it didn't make that smooth transition from 2017 to 2018 and get included in our normal planning process because of the misperception that it was a leased machine.
So,
Being a leased machine, we assumed that the copier maintenance cost would just keep
Sure.
rolling over and
Mhm.
increasing as they do, but that we would not be faced with buying a new machine.
Right.
yeah, I'm just trying to wrap my head around having to make this document for something that is part of the village. So that's where it's always been at, right? And it went off the rails the last conversation we had when I started asking questions like this. So I'm not looking for that again to repeat itself, but I'm just still struggling with how this is cohesive if we have to have a document like this. I don't know what the last document is. I've asked Ben about the document and he's got a copy of it, but nothing that's signed. And again, I don't know why we had to do it, right?
That was prior to me. I don't know why the previous license agreement was put in place either.
Right. So,
Not involved in that.
but we're redoing something that we don't even have a signed one from before. And we're saying we're terminating it, but it was never really signed.
Well, to our knowledge.
yeah, that's more of like a
Right.
catch-all on
So
that.
in this document here, there's no dates on it. So it's just a forever. There's no, I mean, how can changes be made or?
I believe that's outlined on the first page where it can be terminated. Terminated by agreement by all parties following a 90-day written notice. Any party may request review of the terms of this in this MOU.
So that wording then, and that wording there doesn't feel one, it feels we're two entities making a document.
So we do feel like we're one with the village. I guess that
And I guess, Charlene, if I can just make a point of clarification, again, I think that kind of restating what I had stated in the last meeting is with this, it's kind of a guiding document on how the library board and the village board are supposed to kind of work together. And in the 100 versus the 800 account, who's responsible for what to budget for. That I think is kind of the principle, and the purpose of this MOU is to, again, kind of restate, improve, bring up to date, actually get signed the document that should have been done in 2008. So again, since the library board under state statute governs the library in part, I'll just say not in whole, obviously, because the village board still approves the amount of tax dollars and whatnot.
Right.
Discipline and all that stuff goes to the library board,
Right.
but not, I'll just say like not 100%, maybe like 90%, is again under state statute governed by the library board. It's to kind of show and guide us in how the two bodies work together, because again, you guys vote on various library policies. The village board does not have a say in those policies. So again, you guys kind of make your recommendation for the budget. You guys need to know what you need to be expecting to budget for versus what the village is going to cover, again, for building maintenance or capital.
But
So
isn't that still part of the library budget? If
is what.
if we pay for it, it's still part of the library budget because the village is still paying for it.
I would say
You understand, like that's where my separation. It's like
it's part of, I would say it's part of the overall village budget. Again, if we get into the semantics around the naming of the budgets, again, the library, we call it, the park and rec budget and the sewer budget. Each of the funds has their own budget that we pass in November. So you're right that the amount that we allocate in tax dollars to the library does impact what we can allocate to other sources. But again, the quote unquote library budget, has its own separate things that they have to cover versus us. Again, they're doing, like, if they have light bulbs versus having to replace a door that, was leaking because of rain that we had.
We had furnaces and air conditioners that just went right.
Correct.
To a pretty, but I'm just not seeing the communication with you. I don't think is what everybody else is giving you so you can stay on top of these things. I guess that's another thing I'm trying, I'd like to have this budgeted, like that we could have this money for you when something goes bad, right? But we don't because we didn't know about it. I guess is also my point. And Ben didn't know about it because if he did, he would have budgeted for it.
Didn't know about which are you talking about, Eric? I'm sorry.
Any of the capital improvements, well, one being the
We submit capital improvement requests every year. The infrastructure in the building, when I don't know if I had that conversation with Ben, but certainly with Kayla I did, who's responsible for making sure that the furnaces are working? And she says DPW. So again, the operating assumption we were under is DPW was watching over those.
and
we talk frequently with DPW too.
Right, but I mean,
Communication.
it obviously, it got dropped somewhere along the line that so that's the communication, right? That's another big thing for me, right? We all take a hand in it, right? I'm not saying it's just you not communicating,
Right.
but I think the feeling is that our hands are kind of tied about what we can and can't do over there, and now we're making a document stating it.
So where are your hands tied, Eric? You're welcome to come in anytime. You're welcome to look at all our
I-
financials. You're welcome to ask us questions about.
I am asking you questions, and so that's what we're doing here today. This whole document is new to me, and why we need it for an entity that is
We have.
a village, right? It's not like we're saying to Brookfield when they came to take our fire over, we have expectations of what they should do and what
But there is
we're
a
gonna do.
document though.
Well, there is.
There is a document
Right,
that
but
does that.
because we're two separate entities.
Right, but there is
Okay.
actually a handbook that DPW people that work for us have to do. They don't just
They don't just in passing tell, Ben, hey, Ben, I want vacation. They put it in writing because that's in
Then
the
I,
handbook.
then I want to see
right?
the rest of the memorandums for the other entities in the village.
But they don't
The other
have-
entities
I
don't
know.
have their own
Do we
board.
have them?
Right. I was just gonna say that. They have their own board.
Yeah,
I
they
think
have their own
that's-
boards, so therefore they're a little bit separated, one level separated, because they have a board that takes care of operations.
That's
Where we don't have a
accountable.
board for the police, and we don't have a board, but if we were a bigger city, we might have a police commission, and then we would
Sure,
have a
sure.
memorandum with
That'd,
them.
that'd be great. But no one can say our communication has broke down. Can we agree upon that?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Can we agree upon the communications between our administration, Ben, and you guys have broken down? Equal, you don't think so? All right. Well, I don't know how we're in the place we're at right now
I
then.
think I see your point, but I think that's the reason there should be an email trail. Because then we would know why the
Exactly.
copier
That in and
got
of
missed.
itself is just like, do we have to say?
Well, somebody
every
in
little
two thousand eight should
What
have
else-
said,
What else do you want to put in there?
somebody in two thousand eight should have
We
said.
can't
"This is a
talk by
purchase."
phone or, right? I mean, that's how ridiculous that sounds to me, that we have to put it in a memorandum that we have to communicate via email. Like, don't
I'm
we all,
thinking-
isn't that how we do it?
I'm thinking 5 years from now, when everybody thinks it's a lease and not a buy, and somebody misses it again, they're gonna look back and go, what the heck, right? But we'll have a trail now. Because we actually did sort through and formalize how we communicate back and forth. There's nothing wrong with that.
I
I'm
think,
not saying there's anything wrong with doing it, but to put it in a document like this and just something as simple as that, like we're debating if we can say, we can talk verbally, but yet maybe we should just do it in email. Like that to me is craziness. That's just me.
All we're asking for is documentation. When we
Well,
talk,
no one's saying
when
you're
we,
not going
the
to. but
village
what-
board or whomever talks with the library board or whomever, we want it documented enough to know that there has been some kind of a trail.
Because of the separation.
Yes, that's all.
Correct.
Also because
right.
when
Perfect.
decisions
That's
are
exactly,
made,
then we're on the same page.
Yeah.
Because it's a separation.
when decisions are made, we really should have a document.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I-
And if you get caught up on the word email, then it could be appropriate communication.
I
right?
think that coming in, like, that's kind of why I actually see why the document is needed. I think you do have some separation and some poor communication on stuff that's going on, and it can get better. But I think there needs to be guidelines on both sides. Like right now, they don't have guidelines that they need to be communicating via email either. And maybe that should have happened, and maybe we should have communicated via email, but no one's.
It goes back to I think there's a breakdown in communication on both ends, but I guess I'm the only one that sees that.
No, I
or
think
thinks about that.
I think there is a
So-
breakdown in communication, but this also forces them to have to communicate as well.
And there's always room for improvement. I'm not,
Absolutely.
Well, everybody, on all ends, there's room for improvement, and that's all we're trying to do all the way around.
and
But-
recognize that we do have staff turnover. You guys have turnover. We've had turnover in Village Hall. And some of this communication, or
Yep.
some of the confusion over the copier came about when there was a change in personnel. So
Absolutely great point, yeah.
this helps us
Yep.
at least, not eliminate it, but at least make it better.
I think you're thinking of it as like it's restricting us.
No, I don't think it restricts us at all.
I think it's also
We
holding
only have
them
so much
accountable.
control over it, from a state aspect. I mean, there's strict guidelines, right? So I
Right.
don't think that it's not a control issue. To me, it's a communication issue to not surprise anybody and Ben be more included as much as possible. I'm not looking for Ben or anybody on this board to decide what books are in that building and what programs you guys are doing, because we don't do that anywhere else, right? So that's not what I'm saying. I don't want that control and I don't need that control, and I think it shouldn't be at this level. What I'm saying is the communications between you and Ben, I don't believe has been great.
I would disagree. I mean, we know very much what's going on. I think in all fairness, in the past, we have not gotten anywhere near the amount of information
Exactly.
that we've got
That we do
today.
now. No,
So
I think
I
what they present to us is phenomenal, right?
mean, we're not gonna catch absolutely every single thing, but that,
We're human beings. We're gonna miss up here.
this is just a little bit of a framework. So did you have any does anyone have any additional questions or comments on the actual document?
No,
Just get dated.
no.
Is there any?
Well, it'd be signed.
Just a sign.
It is dated at the end, signed and dated. And would it be better to build in a 3-year review?
No.
No, I don't know that you need that type, but as long as
Fine.
there's
No.
you have wording that.
Oh, I think
Fine.
it's smart to
Fine.
actually do
I think
reviews.
technology will change. We were really
Yeah.
specific in there on technology, on types of technology. So I think that it's good. I do have a question on the termination by agreement of all parties. So if something happens and somebody wants to terminate, the library has to agree before we can terminate this document.
Yeah, I agree that should probably be looked at because
Yeah.
it's usually one party with
Right.
written notification,
Mhm.
to the other. And then we might want to beef up a little bit with the kind of being a little bit more specific on may request a review of the terms, kind of outlining what the time period would be. Like
Right.
if I do it today, when are we going to review it? 'Cause right now it just says, well, we're going to review it.
Mhm. I would agree. Yeah, I think that usually it's one wanting to terminate. So if that could be clarified.
Do we want to table this or just
Yeah,
approve it or move forward with the corrections as stated? How do we want to do it? Is there a preference?
Yeah, I was
I
gonna
could-
make a motion, just say that we're getting very close. It's just so there is adequate time to fix this particular item that Caitlin brought up and the items, which were numerous, there's gonna be a lot of wording changes.
Okay.
Um,
So I'm looking for a
Till
table.
the next
Yeah,
month.
with
then.
the level of changes, I think it would
Yeah.
just be good to.
Yeah, table at the next, to accommodate the changes and any other further discussion. And then that'll be my motion.
I second.
Okay, motion has been made and seconded to table this item. Any discussion on the motion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
On opposition, say nay. Motion
That's a 1 month
passes.
till next.
Charlene, thank you for,
Thank you for the opportunity to go through this. I will take this back to the library board on the 14th and see if they have any other recommendations.
Good. We'll get her done next month.
Thank you.
perfect.
All right. Unfinished business, item B, discussion of possible action on ordinance 2609, an ordinance to amend section 32-86 of the Butler Municipal Code of Ordinances pertaining to parking being prohibited except for certain persons and amending the official traffic map of the Village of Butler.
So this was tabled, I believe, by Trustee Holdman about a month or so, no, 2 months ago, basically to see how Brookfield, functioned in the village and if they needed to have those 2 parking spaces in front of the building that is currently occupied by Easy Nails. So we tabled it for 2 months. It's been 2 months, so bringing it back in front of you guys for discussion. I don't believe Corey or Chief Cass has any need for it that they've discovered. But again, it's up to you guys if you want to change those back over to regular parking or not.
I think they should be regular.
I agree.
Me too.
Move to approve ordinance 2609 to turn those parking spots back into the regular parking spots for the village.
I'll second it.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion on the motion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
On opposition, say nay. Motion passes. New business. Ceremonial swearing in of newly appointed trustee Caitlin
Oh,
Speaker.
boy.
It's slash Huber.
Slash Uber.
I put that in.
It's
month
okay.
ago.
It's official now. I just got it from the Social Security.
You
So.
can come in front of us really quick. Can you raise your right hand, please? And repeat after me. I, Keegan Huber, having been elected or appointed to the office of village trustee, but have not yet entered upon the duties thereof, I swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Wisconsin, and will faithfully discharge the duties of said office to the best of my ability. So help me God.
You could have put a space.
Good job.
got us the last time. You let that long one go.
My
Welcome.
tongue twister a little bit there.
Welcome to the village board. Item B, discussion and possible action on resolution 26-11, a resolution to approve compliance maintenance annual report.
So this is a report that we have to approve on the village level. Every year, you do it every year. Ben High puts it together with help with me and DPW. We gather information and compile it to this report. The report shows that we again got 100 out of 100, grade A on our CMAR report. So we just need to have this resolution be passed. We'll forward it on to the DNR for filing, and we'll be good to go.
Sounds good. Is there a
I'll make a
motion?
motion to approve resolution 26-11.
I'll second that.
I heard Mark and Mike.
Bill,
Was it Bill? Okay, Mark and Bill.
read here, Mike.
A motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion on the motion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
On opposition, say nay. Motion passes. Item C, discussion and possible action on resolution 26-12, a resolution to approve the borrowing of $275,000 from the trust funds of the state of Wisconsin for purposes of financing infrastructure, the 2026-27 capital improvement plan and village hall improvements.
So I will speak to both of the resolutions, that the C and D right now. These are the resolutions that we need to pass to formalize the borrowing that Ariana from Ellers presented a short time ago. It's again borrowing the 275 to keep the tax levy stable to finance capital improvement, village hall improvements, and infrastructure, and then the 302,000, which is the next resolution, to finance the water utility improvements and water tower projects. So again, we have the packets from the state in my possession right here. So once this gets approved, I will fill the rest of the application out, submit it, and we should have the monies hopefully by the end of July.
Any questions on that? I know we discussed it pretty thoroughly last time, so is there a motion?
I'll move that we pass resolution 2611. Nope, I'm sorry, 2612. Resolution to approve the 275,000 from the trust fund of the state of Wisconsin.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion on the motion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All in opposition, say nay. Motion passes. Item D.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2613.
I'll second it.
All right, I won't even read it. Motion has been made and seconded to, and just any discussion on the motion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All in opposition, say nay. Motion passes. Item E, discussion and possible action on resolution 26-14, a resolution to close the village's money market account with First Business Bank, transfer funds, and open a new money market account with Town Bank.
So as I stated at the Finance Committee meeting, we do have a large amount of money with First Business Bank. This was opened over a decade ago. For consolidation purposes, we want to bring that money into Town Bank to kind of put it under that umbrella. That is where we have pretty much all of our money markets in our checking. That's where we do all of our banking. We do have other funds with Ellers and with LGIP, but those all have state money or borrowed revenue funds. So those are kind of separated for those reasons. But this is kind of just a money market that was from the general fund over a decade ago. It is just very difficult to have to, if we want to withdraw money from that account, it's in a separate bank. So we have to set up a wire. We have to pay the wire fee. It then gets transferred to Town Bank. And then we can pay out on it. Just bringing it in makes it a lot more sense. And we are collateralized up to $15 million with Town Bank, and each of the money markets is collateralized individually up to $1 million. So we are good and safe with all of that. It's well above what the FDIC insures at the $250,000 mark. If you have any questions, please let me know.
Is there a motion?
I'll
I
make
move
a
that we
motion.
approve. Go ahead.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2614.
Second.
Mike, a motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion on the motion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
On opposition, say nay. Motion passes. Item F, discussion and possible action on ordinance 26-10, an ordinance to repeal and recreate section 30-2 of the Butler Municipal Code of Ordinances pertaining to street addresses.
So at this time, I will bring Corey and Chief Cass up. I should say Assistant Chief Corey Sukow and Chief Cass up to the podium. They have worked extensively with the village, as well as Officer Kyle Knapp and Executive Assistant Melinda Davenport to craft this ordinance. Currently, our addressing ordinance has several processes in place for how addresses get assigned, but it's not super specific. It's pretty short, a little lackluster. So this kind of came about with some of the building board issues that we've been having, where confusion over numbering of units, addresses, where things are located. There is some issues with the CAD system trying to lay these pinpoints down on various businesses and keeping track of all of that. So we've worked very extensively with Corey and the police department to bring this ordinance to you. It's obviously before you today. Corey can go into a little bit of the reasoning behind it from the fire department's aspect. I can kind of talk a little bit more about the ordinance if you would like, but I'll just hand it over to you.
All right, so yeah, thanks for bringing me here. I want to thank, again, just off of what Ben said, a lot of work from their staff as well as the police department. They're obviously integral in all of this. And we're just kind of building off of the good work that the staff here in the village has done forever, right? And just memorializing what they've kind of already done, been doing in your ordinances. Emergency safety wise, like the biggest thing is when we go to, and trustees Holman and Baylor, you guys both brought up the building board, the exact same question that we have when going to a call, right? Like, well, which address? Well, which suite? Just to memorialize that and how it goes onto a building. The fire code already allows us to require those on a building, but it's not, it gives no guidance or specifics on how that's done. And I think that's something that this ordinance actually accomplishes. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. But this one's a no-brainer to me.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yep.
Does the county set an address, or how does that, then we pass this, who sets the addresses then?
So in the ordinance, it details that I would be setting the addresses through once we get a building permit for a new construction, or if somebody makes a single family home into a duplex and they want to do like an upper or a lower or two separate addresses. We have a couple houses in the village where it's a duplex and one empties out onto one street and one empties out onto the other street. So they have two separate street addresses in that respect. So it would come to me, and I would then, using what's in the ordinance for the grid system and the numbering, I would then issue that and then communicate that to the county, to the police, to the fire, to the post office. There's, I think, some statutory language on how that has to get communicated out.
Question. So then if ABC homeowner's address doesn't comply, are they grandfathered in, or do they have to change then? I'm just curious.
So when it comes, so the addresses themselves really aren't going to change. It's really for the new ones going forward. The things that will need to be enforced are the placing of the address on the buildings. So everybody that currently does not will have to be brought up, including village properties. We do not have our addresses on our buildings, so we will have to do that.
Well, then there was that, we just approved occupancy for one around 126.
Correct.
Couple
So-
months ago that didn't even have an address. at all.
Correct. So the fire department, when they do their inspections, that's going to be part of their fire inspection now, and they will be informing the property owners. We're also going to put a mailer in the utility bills in August to let people know, like, hey, if, just double check, make sure you have your address on your house, and if you don't, make sure that you get it on there.
So it's not so much changing someone's address, it's actually displaying
Correct.
one's address and having, like, is there a suite A or a suite B? I mean, Mark and I deal with that all the time, right? In our building board.
And
that we don't know what's what. We go to look and we can't find it
Right.
either, right?
Yeah,
So I
and-
can only imagine what you guys with adrenaline running, trying to help someone. And
I think that one thing that will change with regards to the addresses themselves are any buildings that have a shared entry point. So one of the buildings, for example, would be Paul Schultz's building across the street, kitty corner to us. if they have a shared entryway that then opens up into different units, we're going to require that the units be uniformly numbered. So on the first floor, it's 100, second floor is 200, 300, instead of some buildings having A, B, C, because right now that building could have suite cucumber and suite A and suite 1. And they're trying to find out where's suite 1, because on
Yep.
here it's suite 2 down here, but 1's up there, just kind of making it
Good. Yeah.
more
Good.
uniform.
Good.
Thanks for all the work on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Thank you all.
Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to pass ordinance 2610.
I'll second it.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion on the motion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All in opposition, say nay. Motion passes.
That'll make Amazon happy.
Right, seriously, anybody.
Yeah.
Item G, discussion and possible action on 2026 through 2027 gaming, tobacco, and liquor licenses.
So yes, these are the annual renewals for the gaming, tobacco, and liquor licenses throughout the village. Obviously, you guys do this every year. If these are approved, we will be going out creating licenses and running them out to each of the businesses. We do not have any current issues with any of them. I will just make a point to state that for the one business that is currently not in operation, the ordinances, and I didn't notify them of this, ordinances do state that you have to use the liquor license within 90 days of it being issued, or we can revoke or suspend it. So I did make that business aware that they need to start using the liquor license, or it will be revoked from them.
Which business?
That would be the Derby District.
Because
They have not opened.
Rin isn't open either though.
Correct. That's obviously a separate, it's up to the village to decide if it's going to move to revoke it.
Okay.
Obviously they have a separate thing and they're set to
Sure.
hopefully open this summer.
Yeah, Ben, when's the 90 days?
September 15th.
September 15th, got it.
Also, so I don't know how important it is. I noticed on Form AB-100 and AB-101 for Quick Trip, the date was from 25.
Oh, okay. So when the person signed, or was it?
Yeah, that's when they signed it.
Okay.
So it's like from last year.
Okay. Yeah, they must
Is
have.
that not important, or I don't know, the date doesn't jive with this year, so if it's started bringing it up.
No, yeah, and I apologize for that. I need to be more on top of looking at those. So going forward, I think that I'll reach out to them and see if they can just submit those with the correct date, just in case the DOR does come in and have questions, and any other. I'll look through the licenses, and if I find any other discrepancies, I'll make sure to contact the business owners and get those addressed.
Is there a motion?
With the points to address, I'll make a motion to approve the 2026-27 gaming, tobacco, and liquor licenses.
I'll second that.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion on the motion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All in opposition, say nay. Motion passes. Item H, discussion and possible action on the 2026 Wolverine fireworks contract permit and size of the fireworks show.
So this is the annual contract for Wolverine. I will make just a request to the board at the end, but I wanted to bring a discussion forward of how, since it is the 250th anniversary of our nation's founding, if we wanted to increase the size of the show. As I provided in the weekly update last week, the Park and Rec Fund did increase its fund balance by over $9,000 last year. So now instead of around 10 to 11, it's up to about 19,500. So there are a couple unexpected expenses when it comes to the playground with kind of the heavy rains. A lot of the wood chips washed out, so the park maintenance in and of itself, that budget is a little bit high. I might go over budget this year. But I did want to just ask the board, did you want to make the size of the show any bigger? When I talked to Gina Bartolotta with Wolverine, she said that there's not like a step. It's not like, they have a 10,000 and a 15,000 and a 20,000. It's just, you tell us what you want the expenses to be. We will enlarge the show to meet that expense. So I wanted to put it to you guys, if you wanted to kind of go a little bit over budget, what we had budgeted, which was around $10,000. To have a larger show, and if you did, by how much?
And does the 2,000 pledge towards the 10 or is it increasing?
It would go towards the 10.
Okay.
I finally was able to connect with T-Mobile. I'm hoping that they submit a donation, but with that, we would be pretty much where we would need to be for the donations.
Okay.
So it'd be around that 10,000. So again, some of that fund balance would be used, but that was the largest increase in the fund balance we've had in that account, I think, since it was funded. It pretty much doubled from last year to this year.
We usually do like about with all there's additional costs, I think, in there as well. On top
It's like
of it,
275 for hazardous disposal.
something. So it's usually like 10,005 to 11,000.
Makes sense. Our budget is 11.
Then it would be 11. In the past, we've done about 11, so we are running a little bit under the 11. I'd be fine with, I actually asked Ben to put this on here just, I mean, because it is the 250th, I mean, we could go a little bit extra, and I wanted to get the rest of the board's opinion on that. $2,000 to $3,000 possibly.
I would go along with that.
Yeah. Me too.
Give it a good bang at the end of the year.
Any objections to just saying 3,000?
None.
Does that work for everyone? Ben, would that work for the contract
So
purposes?
the total would be, we have the 11 with the hazardous. So I put 11, but it's like 10,650 or something. So should we just put it at 14?
Yeah, up to 14.
Sounds good.
With any extra fees.
Okay.
They had a few fees, I think, on there. Okay, so the motion would be up to approve the fireworks show up to $14,000.
So moved.
And I'm sorry, I had this, I just want to make it contingent upon them providing everything that the fire department is requesting. They turned in their permit form to them, but there's still a couple items outstanding that Corey is looking to get from them. I don't know if they responded as of the end of the day today, but Gina did communicate with him today, so I'm hoping that we get that by the end of the week.
Okay, and then just to clarify that 14,000, that's total.
Total,
with
including all the fees.
everything and the park and rec money and the additional monies, so, and the donations.
Correct.
Yep, okay. All right.
So moved.
All right.
There's a motion, not a second yet.
I'll second it. Let her have it.
Caitlin's on the record.
Yes.
Who's the motion from?
Mike.
Okay, there we go. Motion has been made and seconded. Is there any discussion on the motion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
On opposition, say nay. Motion passes. Item I, discussion and possible action on a right-of-way alteration permit for Blaze Properties LLC, owner of 4652 North 127th Street.
Yes, so I made a mention of this in my weekly update as well. We have recently had 3 instances of right-of-ways being affected or altered without village approval, which is against the village code. This is one of them. DPW discovered this when they drove down 127th Street, saw that the curb was cut. There was debris located on the side of the curb, and it appeared that they were going to be widening their driveway to meet kind of where the larger garage is. So instead of having a little bit of a curve in, they're going to just do it straight down. We notified them that they cannot do that, that they need to apply for right-of-way alteration permit to be able to pave in the right-of-way and to cut the curb. So they did that. They paid the fee. I now bring it to in front of you to have that discussion and possibly approve that change.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
It's already been cut before they come in, and that really frustrates me that they were not here to do it. This company that's doing this job has been known to work under the counter, and I'd rather see it, some kind of a fine put on them because they cut it ahead of time without asking. That's just me.
It is a little more permanent than hanging a sign on a building, you know, like
It's not cut properly neither. I mean, it doesn't match existing opening. The way it was cut, I went and stopped and looked at it today, right? They just cut.
Yeah, just act it.
Yeah, it's, this is a contractor. He knows better. He's been in business for a while, right?
Yes.
I mean, it's not a homeowner is like, yeah, I'm just gonna rent this saw and oh, I didn't know any better. This guy knows better. So there should be some consequences.
Is the contractor Blaze or is that the property?
No, that's.
I personally don't know who cut it, but Blaze is the owner of the property.
He's a
Yeah,
contractor.
it
So
could
I'm
be that
like,
he did the work.
right, and he's not here,
So
right?
it's the same person.
But there has to be whether we grant this right away or not, there should be some,
Consequence.
100%, because this is,
What is the fee?
Yeah, what's an appropriate fine for something like that?
So that fine is not explicitly stated in the court deposits. It would be, a violation would be between $50 and $500, I believe. That would be set by the judge upon a guilty
So
verdict.
we don't set the fine, it gets set by the judge.
It would, correct. If it's not specified in the deposit list that you guys approved, I think like a year and a half ago, which it's not because it's never really been a problem before. It would go in front of you, or it would go in front of the judge, and the judge and the attorney would discuss and set that amount.
All right.
I mean, this isn't taking up some grass. This is actually cutting into city curb, right?
Yeah.
So this is like not a little violation.
Yeah, so I mean, that, in that context, because the leeway is pretty far for the judge, like we want to influence the judge to make it worthwhile to.
Yeah. Well, what is the typical fee for a right-of-way alteration?
So the fee has not been touched probably ever. It's
Yes.
$50.
Oh, yeah, we for sure need to send a message.
If this is, well, if he expands, is that even allowed? That the width of the new driveway?
So
With the permit, that's how I take it. with the permit.
I would have to double, again, I don't have the ordinances in front of me for the driveways themselves, and how wide they can be. I know that they're in the R2, which I believe they are in, there's no requirement on the closeness of the driveways together or to a property line. I'm unfamiliar currently of how wide that was gonna be, because that was gonna be my second thing when I talked to them is, okay, you cut it. Now we have to see what we're doing with regards to the actual driveway itself.
But you say there's no distance between one driveway to another. A driveway permit specifically asks how far away from another driveway is your driveway? When I filled out mine, that was a question. So
Correct. And so for again, how the code is currently written, that answer, if they were doing that, driveway next to a driveway, they would essentially put 0 for that if that's what they were doing. Because
it's
the
cut
code,
towards the corner, so there is no other driveway
Yeah.
in the direction they went, but we don't have WIS and we don't have any of that in our.
If I may, years back, this came up in one of the meetings I was at, one of the few. We always went by the width of the garage. So whatever the width of the garage was, that's what was determined as the footprint of the entryway for the driveway. And it had to be a drivable ramp or drivable curb in that area. I mean, everything's been changed, but that's what we did years ago, like 18, 20 years ago.
Did the building inspector look at this permit?
he did not. It's not a building permit that they review.
Oh.
This is just getting permission from the village to alter or pave.
I mean, if you look at the photo, it makes sense why he wants to do it. It's just how it went about is what the issue is. Is it possible to make a motion on this to approve and then specify a fine? Like, could I make a motion to approve this with a fine of $500?
I don't believe that you have that authority.
Okay.
I would like to know the code should say what the width is. I think there's limits on width. And I would want that checked before we approve this.
I thought it was 40
And
feet.
does he need then also a permit to pour the rest of the driveway?
Correct. Yes. If they're doing stuff with the driveway approach, like pouring a new driveway approach, yes.
Which is they weren't gonna do.
So yeah, that was, kind of getting past.
We can
The
only
cost.
assume, right? Because he's not here to
Yeah, and
talk to us.
I do believe that Aaron sent the agenda to the person that we had communicated with.
I see there's grass there, so he's gonna add concrete.
Right.
He's gonna
Okay.
dig all that out and make it just a straight shot. And I as well understand the
Sure.
thought process of why, but I can't get my head around a contractor that knows better.
And I do think they have multiple properties in the village.
Yes, they do.
Please.
Multiple.
So do we want to table this one until we get some more defined answers?
Yeah, I have one point of clarification. So you said that they voted on certain fines a year and a half ago.
Correct. Sorry.
Is there a process to add a fine
Yes.
if you demolish?
Yes. So we would then bring a resolution. We would basically what happened was we brought a large document. It was probably 7-8 pages of everything that we had fines issued for. And then I added a couple on there that that are frequent issues
Right.
that we could end up issuing violations for. So I believe that we would be able to bring that forward resolution. And then what we would do is then that would then get forwarded to the municipal judge. The municipal judge would review it and then approve it. And then once he does that, according to, again, our ordinances, then it would come into full effect and we'd be able to issue it at a set dollar amount.
Yeah, I just wonder if that's something we want to establish as well going
Oh,
forward,
absolutely.
so that we don't get a $50 fine for demolishing.
But then that's a retooling of the fee schedule. The fee schedule is what that's referring to then.
Correct. And that, yeah, we usually do that. Well, we're going to be making a change to the fee schedule here probably in July for some fire permits. So we can add that on there if necessary. And then I did look up,
Teeth into it, yeah.
Mr. President, under the zoning code for driveways. It says, furthermore, a driveway in the R2 district may be up to 24 feet in width when it serves a 2-car or larger garage, provided that the driveway does not vary in width from, and then it kind of goes, I just did a quick search in there, so it kind of goes on with that, but it seems like it can be up to 24 feet if does not vary from the width of something.
Well, that's more than 24 feet.
I think we should measure that.
It's a 3-car garage.
Yeah.
It would have to, it's gotta be more than 8 feet doors.
And then, so then he needs it,
So it's
then he
more
needs a
than-
variance then, right?
Mhm.
Then he would
Well,
need a
and
variance.
I
If that's
think
what the code says.
it's 24 at the curb. I think you can go 24 and expand up.
Expand it up, right.
All right, so do you want to table this or do we want to go, how do you want to do this one, Ben?
Motion to table this.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I would like to have more of a discussion with Blaze Properties and try to get them in here to have more of a discussion on this. And get some insight. So I would not
Some
be opposed to
measurements?
tabling.
And if we did not allow for the right of way, then the alteration, they would have to restore what they
We'll
tore
have
up.
to restore it, correct?
Okay. And that may eliminate the, any type of fine then at that point, if that's what it comes to, possibly.
Yeah, they would have to restore it, and again, there might be some, if a fine's issued, then there could be some court costs. But
All right, we'll table that for now. Is there a motion?
I'll
Make a motion, table it.
I heard both of you at the exact same
Mark can
time,
have it.
so Mark and the
I'll second
second
it.
was Eric. To table, is there any discussion on the motion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
On opposition, say nay. Motion passes.
can I just ask so can you explain, remind me of what I should be looking into? Width of driveway?
Total width of the driveway is my concern
At road,
at the road.
at the road.
Basically, how much curb is cut off, right?
Or how much is there now and how much do they want to add on to? Because their diagram doesn't show that.
Right, doesn't give the measurement.
Mhm.
Anything else?
Does anyone else have any to clarify? I didn't have anything
Not
else.
on that, but just, I mean, I guess the fine issue, we
Yeah.
need to
Yeah.
get squared away. I don't know if this one can move ahead of the other and we can go back, whether it's granted or not granted, right? There needs to be a consequence.
A municipal code violation has a statute of limitations of 2 years.
All right,
So
so,
you can go back and write a citation up to 2
so that's
years.
won't slow this other process down then. of
Well,
which-
they
however it's decided.
obviously did not follow the code, so it's a code violation. The code actually says very clearly, you cannot alter village property, period. It says that in the village code.
Yeah, that's not,
Okay. Does that, because we can cover the fee and anything on the next,
Yep.
when we bring this one back.
Yep.
Okay, is that clear then, Ben?
The schedule next meeting. Got it.
And you'll be talking with the owner. I don't know what went down here and
Yes, and I will make sure I have a written record.
Okay, thank you. Item J, discussion and possible action on a special event vending permit for Flips Mini Donuts during Hot Rods on Hampton from 7 AM to 5 PM.
I did want to, on this, I think that we did this last year. He put 5 PM. I don't believe Hot Rods goes until 5. I think it goes
is it
like
three?
3-ish. So if that's of a concern to the board to
if
cut that
he's
back
not
down.
set up in the middle of the median, I mean, it lingers because of, I mean, I think we let the bars go past 3 o'clock outside, don't we?
Yeah.
I think that, I'm trying to remember.
I'm pretty
Joe-
sure we
Joe,
do.
do
I
you-
don't think it's an issue.
Okay.
I mean, they're.
So as long as he's not set up in the median, which I
Yeah.
wouldn't think he would do, then, I mean, I'm fine with
I
it.
think
5 o'clock.
last year, Joe, he was on, I think he was located on one of the side streets. Like,
Flips.
The mini donuts.
Mini donuts. Cat remembers now.
He was on 125th Street, right by the auto body shop.
Okay.
Because I think he was actually on the street.
I don't recall if he was on the street, but he was not on Hampton. He was on-
So as long as he's to the curb, is that an issue then? If it goes till 5 o'clock? I mean, I don't.
I
don't
guess
see him
the
staying
only
set
thing,
up
the
till
only
5.
concern is if we open the roads back up to traffic, are they usually open back up to traffic by 5?
I would think
Hampton
so.
Avenue is the only one that's really shut down at that point, and I guess going off of Hampton, and I would say, yeah, by 3 o'clock.
So there's going to be active traffic after 3 PM.
But if he's to the curb, is that an issue?
I don't think
I
so.
mean, he has a big, like, food truck. I mean, I guess
Like
it's.
any other trailer
There's
parked
a
on the,
food truck.
it's like. a
Yeah,
food truck. If he's not in the middle of the road, I mean, I'm not seeing any kind of an issue.
I would say if he's cleaning up, I don't know if we would want him obviously. I mean, unless he's like tilted towards people are lining up on the sidewalk like El Taco Feliz normally is. I think that he's pointed towards the road.
I don't personally see him on 125th or 126th.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to bring it up, make sure that we don't all of a sudden have
I-
somebody lingering out there and
Yeah.
honking.
I
and
had
beeping.
a different question here. We haven't got anything from Hot Rods on Hampton. Do we know if
We
it's,
are meeting on June 29th.
are they officially doing that?
Yes. They have a date. They're doing their solicitations and whatnot. Everything will be coming to you guys in the August meeting.
Okay. All right. So any discussion, I didn't, as long as we know that's coming, then this guy's not out $20 for his permit.
Yeah, no, yeah. Me and Leanne have talked extensively. I think Joe, you might be there. Corey's going to be there at the meeting. So
Thanks for the insight on the donut guy.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve Flips Mini Donuts for Hot Rods on Hampton.
I'll second that. Sorry, Cap.
Eric was the second. All right. Motion has been made and seconded. Any discussion on the motion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All in opposition, say nay. Motion passes. Motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
Motion's been made and seconded to adjourn. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All in opposition, say nay. Motion passes. We're adjourned at 7:13.
Thanks, Chiefs.
Thank you very much.